We know the whole biotech cohort has been slammed down 22% by the recent political firestorm over drug prices. But some biotechs have gotten hurt even more than others, and I think unfairly. Take BioMarin, BMRN. That's a maker of orphan drugs that are very expensive for a reason, because they treat rare genetic diseases that would otherwise either be lethal or cost more to the healthcare system, even more money than if they were just untreated. Nevertheless, BioMarin has lost nearly a third of its value in just the last 3 months, falling from $150 nearly down to $100 right now. But even though the biotechs remain out of favor, this is a company with real prospects. And at some point, we have to admit, it's just cheap enough to buy. BioMarin already has 5 orphan drugs on the market, including 3 for various types of MPS, that's a group of metabolic disorders, a treatment for PKU, and a therapy for rare autoimmune diseases that causes muscle weakness. Oh, and at the end of July, the FDA approved their treatment for Duchenne muscular dystrophy, and there's an important patent decision we have to talk about. Plus, the company has an exciting pipeline, a bunch of orphan drug candidates in phase 3 trials, as well as a breast cancer treatment. And even though the stock's been annihilated lately, the news flow has actually been incredibly good. BioMarin winning this favorable court ruling that I mentioned, the company buying the global rights for a couple of its orphan drugs from Merck. Just huge possibilities here. So let's check in with JJ Bienaimé. He's the CEO of BioMarin Pharmaceutical. Hear more about how his company's doing and where it's headed. Mr. Bienaimé, welcome back to Mad Money. JJ, good to see you.
Yeah, great to see you again.
All right. Well, first, I just want to talk about this muscular dystrophy, the Duchenne muscular dystrophy, because to me, this is a patent ruling. Patent rulings tend to stand up. This could be huge for BioMarin.
Yeah, I mean, already we had, back in 2011, Prosensa, the company we acquired the rights from, won also a patent ruling in Europe, right. So there is an issued patent in Europe. So this is an important one, too, for us in the US, and we have to freedom to operate around the world, and there is no existing intellectual property that we would need to commercialize this product.
All right, what was the decision to purchase the global rights for Kuvan and Pegvalia?
Pegvalias, yeah.
Yes, Pegvalia from Merck Serono.
Well,
what does that give you?
Yeah, we already, commercializing Kuvan. We have for 8 years in North America, very successfully. And I think for Merck Serono, this was not a strategic product. They are refocusing the company on oncology, so it makes sense for us to do that. Now we have worldwide rights for this product. Pegpal and Kuvan, except in Japan, where we don't have the Kuvan rights.
Now, we've got a debate coming up at the end of October with the Republican candidates, and I intend to ask them, how do they feel about drugs that cost $400,000? What would happen without your drugs to these people?
I mean, we are treating, devastating. Most of the diseases are lethal. Indeed, the patients, also would use a lot of healthcare resources that are not using today thanks to our drugs. So it would be very, very bad news for those patients if those drugs were not available.
You have an amazing pipeline, but why would you bother to do it if we didn't have orphan drug legislation?
That would definitely reduce the incentive for us to develop this kind of drugs. No question about it.
Now, you have got in the pipeline, I'm looking at, you have 5 commercial drugs already, all of which matter, but 9 in the clinic. Which were the ones that you think that next year we'll be talking about?
So hopefully, the Dryserperson, this product for muscular dystrophy, right. There is likely an advisory committee coming in late November at the FDA to decide on whether our product should be approved or not. We're looking forward to this meeting because we have a database of over 300 patients treated for over 3 years in randomized trial, and we're looking forward to a good discussion with the advisory committee of the FDA on this drug. And then our PDUFA date, which is the date at which the FDA has to make a decision, is December 27th of this year. So hopefully there will be a good decision, which would be great news for the patients and allow them to use this drug, because there is no approved therapy today for muscular dystrophy, which also is a lethal disorder where boys, it only affects boys, lose the ability to walk generally, by the age of 13. So it's a terrible disease. You
mentioned in your transcripts, and they've always been very forthcoming company, the genotype. How great it would be if we really knew what our genes look like. You would really have a much more successful rate if you knew, right?
Yeah, it would allow the good value of genotyping from birth would be to allow patients to know right away if they have a significant disorder and to be treated early, because the earlier you treat the patients, it's always better. So actually, back to muscular dystrophy, we started a month ago or so a new initiative to we're providing a service for patients with muscular dystrophy to know which mutation they have, because the drug we hope to introduce on the market is only for a specific mutation, so-called 51. exon 51 mutation, which affects only 13% of the DMD patients.
All right, last question, JJ, and I'm asking you to put a little bit of a political hat on. You don't have to do it, but do you think we're just going to be talking about these drug pricing issues from now until the election next year?
I mean, hopefully not. I guess it's a great political hook, I would say.
Yes.
Yes. At the same time, for us, the world has not changed since there's been some emphasis on drug pricing. I think one of the key issues has been more around, old molecules that are repurposed and whereby, mainly specialty pharma companies dramatically increase the price of the molecule.
You're the opposite
This
of that.
is not our business at all. Yeah, we're the opposite of that.
Right.
We only introduce drugs for which we do significant clinical research and medical research. And we have never increased the price of our drugs in the past more than inflation, and we have no intention of doing that in the future.
Well, there it is, what the good guys have to do, and I hope that the politicians understand there are good guys. That's JJ Bienaimé, the CEO of BioMarin, a remarkable R&D house that should not be penalized politically. Mad Money's back after the break. Booyah! Jim Cramer here from Mad Money. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube. Click here to subscribe and get the jump on my exclusives with CEOs, plus market news, investing advice, and a whole lot more.